During the late 60s, when the West Virginian coal mining bubble popped, thousands of workers were suddenly unemployed. This caused many mines to go temporarily unused while the coal economy recovered. After months of being closed, the Watsonville coal mine in the most southern part of West Virginia reopened. It was flooded with applications from workers new and old, and before too long, a new team of miners were ready to descend down the mine. A loud steel churning signaled the arrival of the new crew. Old familiar lamps hung low overhead. They did a good job of lighting the narrow, numerous corridors. The men moved down towards the end of the mine, the sounds of their pickaxes echoing down the long halls. They would pick up where the previous team had left off. The tunnel ended at a large grotto which stretched up at least 2 stories high. The team used their headlamps to illuminate the wall. They hung up their canary and made ready for work. The wall was built of craggy, unrefined coal. The men began their work. The loud slapping of metal against the coal embankment was often deafening. While working, one of the miners heard a noise from the other side of the wall. A worker placed his head up against the wall and listened. Over the loud metallic slapping, there could be heard a low rumble, as if something was on the other side of the wall. The man started back to work, dismissing it as some light tremors from overpassing vehicles. Nearing the end of the shift, the man swung his pickaxe one last time, and instead of the usual blunt feel of coal, the axe fell right through the wall. It collapsed, opening a hole roughly about 5 by 5 feet. The miners moved to investigate it. The crevice led to a spacious cavern. Stalactites hung from the ceiling. In the middle of the room, there lay a small lake. The light of one of the headlamps fell on the water. The lake looked like it went down several hundred feet at least. The walls were jotted with foreign runes that no one could decipher. They dismissed it as an old Indian burial ground and went back to their dig site. They packed their tools neatly, grabbed the canary, and left for the day. The next day they returned to their site, only to find the tools had been tossed all over the dig. It wasn't unusual for drunk teenagers to come down to the mine and steal things. Oddly, none of the tools had been stolen. The miners gathered their tools. They had a long day ahead of them. After hours of digging, the men neatly stacked their tools and packed up for the end of the shift. They began the arduous march back up to the minecart. One of the miners stopped. They'd forgotten the canary. The man went back alone. Back at the dig, he found that tools had been scattered about. His headlamp scanned the wall until he found the canary's cage. The cage was gnarled completely, and a trail of bright yellow feathers led towards the hole they had found earlier.
You load 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store.